How's everybody doing today? Okay, I think it's all set up properly this time. So yeah, hopefully it's all good. Let's see. Hello. So, episode 6. I can't believe we've only got 4 more episodes left. It's going too quickly. Yeah. Hello, everybody. I mean, do we talk about Mike straight away, or do we leave that for later? I don't know what's the best way to do this. Because that was there's one episode, isn't it? That's yeah, pretty insane episode. I really enjoyed episode 6. It was so good. I think we've had some of the best tasks. Well, at least one. I think we've got my favourite task so far in this one. So yeah, I really enjoyed episode 6. What about all you? Yeah, funniest episode. Okay, leave the casserole for later. Will do. Okay. Tracy says Mike just gets better and better. He does. He's insane. He's insane. Yeah, Alex Stewart says even without Mike's special task, we still had some proper good ones. I completely agree. Yeah, there's some amazing tasks in this one. Gio says this was Jamali's episode. Yes, he did really well. He was really, really good. And I'm glad he finally won an episode. I love it when everybody wins an episode. I think it's just Lee that's left to win. Because I don't think... No, yeah, because Sarah's won 3 times. Mike's won once. And then Jamali and Charlotte have won 1 each. Yeah, everyone's agreeing, such a good episode. Every task is really, really good. I completely agree. It was such a good episode. I cannot get over how good of an episode it was. I was almost crying with laughter towards the end, as I'm expecting most people were as well. Trace says this is becoming my favourite season. That is... Yeah, it is so good. I really don't know where it's going to go in my list, ordered list, because oh god, it's so good. It's amazing. But then I don't know if it can beat series 7 for me, because I just love series 7 so much. Did they get more production money this season? They rented a hangar and a plane and stuff. I imagine so. I think that's one of the kind of pros to going over to Channel 4, is that they just have such a higher budget than UK TV would have. So yeah, I don't know. I wonder if the plane was available because of COVID and people not being able to fly as much. So many of the planes aren't really in action. So that might be an influence on how they managed to get a plane. But yeah, I have no idea. Good to see an artistic task. Yes, I love the arty ones. They're so good. You watched on catch up late at night. Oh no, someone was asleep in the room next to me and really had to stifle my laughter. Yeah, you have to watch it for me. I don't know, it's such a... Oh, I don't even know how to explain. I just literally cannot stop myself from laughing. Yeah, it's amazing. Also, I just wanted to show, I got, someone from Channel 4 actually saw my Taskmaster videos, which is insane, and they sent me a little Lego Greg and Alex, which is really, really cool. I can't believe I've actually got it. So they'll probably be sitting in the back of my videos from now on. So yeah, that's cool. I don't know if you can see it at the moment, but yeah, so that's really cool. So yeah, they're going to be sitting in the back of my videos. I did show up my Instagram. If you don't follow my Instagram, it's just Jamie Does TV. And I got my own little Taskmaster card thing, which is also going to go in the back of my video, which is so cool. Like, I cannot believe it. I don't know how they saw it. Well, actually, like, because like one of my videos just suddenly was getting like, it like honestly like, no, 10, its views went up in 10, like, oh, I can't even speak. So it had 4.5 thousand views, and then like a week later it had 40,000 views, which is just ridiculous. And I imagine they saw it from that. So yeah, I just cannot believe it, and I can't thank you guys enough for actually like watching my videos in the first place. So yeah, it's insane. I just cannot believe it. But yeah, it's so awesome, and it's all down to you guys for actually watching my videos and watching my live streams, and yeah, it's just awesome. So thank you very much for that. Yeah. A full-sized little Alex Horne, yes. I love that they've actually made a height difference in the Lego things. It's so cool. Right, yeah, so shall we get on to the episode? Let's talk about the episode. First things first is, what do you reckon the picture or the photo Greg showed Alex? Because it was such a reaction to it, that I cannot fathom what it can be. Like, it must be something like embarrassing, or I can't even think what it could be. Like, it's probably something rude, maybe, to get that sort of reaction from Alex, and the fact that he had to kind of like hide it from the like the camera. I reckon I've seen some people put on like Reddit and Twitter and stuff, is it could be that someone just said the nude photo from series 8, that so I've seen people say it's that, which I think is quite funny, and it could be oh god. Yeah, everyone's saying naked photo. I mean that's not really surprising, really. Oh, okay. Panda says it's something that Greg talked about in his stand-up, diseased downstairs area, which is cool. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Oh god. Yeah, I have actually seen his Magnificent Beast stand-up, not live, unfortunately. I watched on Netflix, but yeah, I'll have to rewatch that, because it could very well be that. That's a good idea. Right, so prize task was the most annoying thing, which again, we're getting back into like things that aren't very like highly specific, which I think is a good thing. It's very just straightforward, most annoying thing. And Sarah was the first one, and her thing was that, did she call it a stud finder? I couldn't quite hear with her accent. I assumed she said a stud finder, but that might be wrong. And that's supposed to like beep when it's like at the place where you can drill. It's got one sort of beep, and then when there's electrics, it's a different sort of beep. And the fact that it does not work like just annoys me, because I can imagine like trying to get into like DIY and stuff like that, and trying to use it and end up like electrocuting yourself. Like, it's annoying and dangerous, and I think it's a very, very strong opening from Sarah. Yeah, stud finder, okay. Yeah, everyone's saying unusual being a sort of normal prize task. It is, it's so odd. Yeah, like I can't believe they haven't done that before. Like, I had to really think about it and like think, how have we not had the most annoying item before? But yeah. Sven says I'd bring in a photo of Alex Horne. That'd be funny. I'm sure Greg would give lots of points for that, so that's a good shout. I think that would work very well. So Lee's was the massive yard of Twix, which I thought was a hilarious story. Like, the idea of really bringing it home and like showing your kids and be like, look, I've got Twix for you, and then it being just a wooden plank. And I think it's a hilarious story. I would say it's more like hilarious than annoying, but I don't know, it's quite difficult for me to say, because I imagine it was annoying for him in that moment. And I think I would be annoyed as well. But yeah. To be fair, do you want to win an annoying item? That is, yeah, it's not a great prize round. But yeah, it was entertaining, and I think that's the most thing. Mr. Apples, I'm always surprised that there are still most adjective thing prize categories left. Yeah, that I thought there was as well, considering like how specific they got last series, and it's kind of been an ongoing thing at the moment. Yeah, I'm surprised they're still going. They've come up with some really good ones this season. Yeah, so I think it's great. It's really, really good. Because I know a lot of people were kind of saying that the prize tasks had kind of had their time, and because of how specific they were getting in series 10, that it was kind of like, you know, the end of the line for them. They should kind of do something else, which I didn't really agree with, because I think the prize task is always, I think it's vital to the show. For me personally, I really enjoy it, and I think it's a good idea. But yeah, I think they've definitely proved that they can kind of like revitalise it, and yeah, they've definitely done a really, really good job. Yeah, definitely done a great job. Charlotte's I really liked, which was the alarm clocks, and she did a really good job at choosing alarm clocks with the most annoying like noise. It was so annoying. Like, yeah, it was. I think she should have got more points than 2 for that, because yeah, so annoying. And she threw in a little bit of existential crisis, which I thought was really funny. Mr. Apple says, I think the prize task is really all about the contestants. Yes, I think I think it was Sarah that said on the podcast that for her, kind of like the prize task was an ability for like Lee and people like that to kind of do a bit of like stand-up ish thing, like style thing. And I think that definitely is a good idea. You really get to kind of get a good sense of the comedians, and it starts the show off very well. Like, even if the prizes themselves aren't very good, like the prizes in series 10 were terrible, but like it was still entertaining to watch, and that's the most that's the most important thing, really. Kristen says, I would have brought in one of the mosquito sirens that Sally brought in, because I hate those things. Yes, that is a good idea. So I think just with, noise can be quite annoying, like like a high-pitched noise, that kind of thing. Yeah, I definitely agree. Alex says, really creative from Charlotte. I can fully empathise with the hating getting up every morning. Same. Like, at the moment, because I literally don't have the time to have like a lie-in or anything at the moment. It's like every time my alarm goes off, it's like, oh God, I don't want to get up again, just because at the moment there's nothing to do apart from work. There's nothing I can do apart from work, apart from Taskmaster things like this. So yeah, I hate getting up at the moment, but yeah. Yeah, I definitely think she got more than 2 points. I would have put her kind of 3 or 4. Yeah, Kiara says, Charlotte's was good. It was the only one I found genuinely annoying. Yes, like in the moment, like in the studio, it was the thing that was the most annoying. And I definitely agree. Oh, Gio's got a good one. A baby crying sound. That would be very good. I think that one would win. That is, yeah, very good. Baby crying one. That would be very annoying. What do you think about Jamali's face paint one? Because that was kind of seemed just quite random, but it was one of those things that Greg just understood, and he had the same hatred. And yeah, if you get something that really like Greg really relates to, then you're gonna get 5 points. It's the same with like I can't think Laminator. Kerry's Laminator. It's the exact same thing. Laminator isn't particularly impressive, but just because of how much Greg loves laminators, it just worked. So I feel like that's kind of just how Jamali got 5 points for that, because I personally would have put Charlotte's first. I would have given Charlotte 5 points. Maybe Sarah, because I did think hers was quite annoying as well. He sold it well, I agree, yeah. Mr. Apple says, bring in the CD of Nish's laugh. Yes, that would have been a good one as well. Yeah, just a loop of his laugh. That is brilliant. Caroline says, I probably would have brought in the same thing. As Charlotte, there's my instinct to annoying alarm bells or noises of people eating crisps loudly. Yes, that is, oh my god, that would be so annoying. Yeah, I think the top 2 said so far are baby crying and noise of people eating. Yeah. Anyone says who would have brought in Alex for annoying would have automatically got 5 points. Yes. Caroline says, Jamali is great at selling his point. It's fascinating to watch. Yeah, he is really good at it. I feel like he's really getting like more and more involved, and I think more and more competitive as well as the episodes go along, which is brilliant because I really like Jamali. I think he's just a brilliant contestant, and I think he works very well among the others. Yeah, I think he's great. Kiara says, a second Jamali said children's face paint. I knew Greg would love it. Yeah, he did it really well on that one, and he did argue it well, like the whole kind of about the blue lion, like it just worked very well. And Mike's, I didn't understand. So it was a symbolic nipple, because when he first said the nipple thing, I thought it was going to go down the line of Ben's. Sorry, I was seeing someone's comment of men's nipples being kind of useless, and that's annoying. But yeah, then he went down this weird oral fixation, I think was the term he used, thing. The fact that people are breastfed, then they always have to have something in their mouth, which I can understand is annoying, but it just didn't make much sense to me. Yeah. Gio says you can really start to see the competitiveness from Jamali that the podcast mentioned. Yes, he's definitely getting he's definitely getting really good, and he really wants to win, and he's second place now overall, which is ridiculous. Like, he was like second to last episode or the episode before, so he's doing really well. Yeah, no, I didn't get Mike's as either. It just didn't work for me. Like, it was weird, it was funny to listen to, but it didn't work for me. I personally would have put him in last place, and then probably Lee, and then I'm not too fussed about face paint personally, but he did really argue his point, so maybe swapping between Sarah and Jamali for 3 and 4th, like, I don't really know, and then Charlotte with 5 points because it is the most annoying item. Yeah, not really. No one's really getting the mic nipple thing. A Freud thing. It could be. Yeah, if people have an urge to bite thing that stems from childhood. Yeah, it could be that. That could be where he's getting it from. Like, yeah, I can imagine if he does have to deal with that, then it is annoying. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of... Mr. Apple just said Jamali isn't in second place anymore. Mike overtook him with the final task. Yeah. It's still impressive, though. So it's like Mike and Jamali fighting out for second place, and Sarah is just well ahead in the lead, as usual. Caroline says Mike played the absurd card, which is hilarious. Yes, he did. And I think him and Greg know each other, as Sven's just said, they used to work together. So, yeah, it could be an inside joke. But, yeah, I didn't get it. And I was just really confused when I was watching that bit. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. It's just, yeah, it's insane. But I guess that's what gets points. So task 1, which I think was a really good task as well, which was make the best portrait of the Taskmaster on this door using only your feet. And then they had 10 minutes to do it, which I think was a very short amount of time to do like a creative task, because normally they do give a bit more time for this, but I feel like that did kind of work an advantage because people were kind of like a bit frantic and trying to, paint Greg. So this is another portrait task. They've done so many portraits of Greg now. Yeah, so I mean, I don't even know who to start with this task. I mean, Jamali's paint explosion was absolutely brilliant. It was so good. And I'm just really loving this season. There's been so many just laugh out loud moments, like just in this episode alone. Like, yeah, it's been great. Yeah, Alex saying when Jamali stamped on the paint and it covered the caravan, I burst out laughing. I knew I was going to love this episode, and I loved his painting in the end. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel. It was so good. It was just brilliant. And the fact that he then used it in the next task, the stamping on the paint, which is brilliant. Alex says, I'd love to see a compilation of all the Greg portrait tasks. Yes, that would be great. Because there must be loads now. Tracy says, I like short creative tasks because people who are naturally artistic don't necessarily have an advantage. Everybody is just frantic the whole time. Yes, that is a good point. I think, yeah, because sometimes, like, I know some people, like Noel Fielding, he kind of got all the points in their creative tasks, but like most of the time everybody's on kind of like an equal playing field because they have a really short amount of time or they are disadvantaged in some way. But yeah, it was just so good. Right, since we're talking about Jamali, we may as well talk about his painting, which I don't know how, but it is genuinely beautiful. Like, I have no idea why. Like, I genuinely did like it. And I think, again, he's just really good at arguing it. He was like, oh, red is to symbolise this. And it was like, wow, okay, so this is why artists like abstract art, like it just made sense, which is insane. Like, it shouldn't make sense. It shouldn't have got 5 points, but I'm kind of happy it did. It was so good. Liam says, I want Jamali's door for my bathroom. Yes, as a door, it's amazing. And I think, again, he just got Greg because Greg said, if I want a painting to symbolise me or represent me, I want that. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Or someone saying Jamali's painting was low-key inspiring. Yes, it was. It's really good. I don't know how, but it is. Like, maybe he's just got this hidden, like, abstract artist beneath him. Oh, it was just so good. I don't know why it makes sense, but it does. Alex says art doesn't need to make sense, and that, yeah, I guess that is true. It doesn't need to make sense. Sven says, I don't like Jamali's, which is fair enough, because I can understand if it's like, well, it's not really a portrait, but I can understand why people would be against him getting 5 points, but I don't know why, but it is. Like, I was like, oh wow, that is actually really good. Yeah. So let's talk about Lee, since he got he didn't get disqualified, which I was quite surprised about because he did break the rules. So the task was paint the picture only using your feet, and I feel like he got confused and thought it was not using your hands, which he still used his hands at some point anyway. If the task was to not use your hands, then his technique was brilliant. It was such a good technique, but it just broke every rule on the thing, really, didn't it? Yeah. It was, again, a good technique. Tracy says Lee's was my favourite, too bad he broke all the rules. Yeah. Again, it was good, and it was a good technique, just not in the rules, which is unfortunate. But he did get a point for it, which is surprising considering he probably should have been disqualified. Miss Trapples put all the portraits of the Taskmaster in Series 4, Series 7, Series 9, and then 10 and 11. I thought there'd be more than that, to be honest. Yeah, fair enough. Oh yeah, Highway Brian has just said, what did he say? Where do the hands end? Yes, that was really good. He was like, oh no, where do the feet end, or something like that. Yeah, I thought that was quite a good argument, but yeah. Robert says, I loved Charlotte's art teacher energy. Yes, hers. Yeah, she was really good. And I'm surprised she only got 3 points. I probably would have put her at 4 or 5 if we kind of go with, well, hers is more of a portrait than Jamali's. Because hers was genuinely good. It looked like a portrait. Again, I guess you could go, it doesn't really look like Greg, but it was a good portrait in my opinion, and yeah, a good technique, I guess. It was keeping on her shoes, which I can't really blame her at all, and then like doing these weird like shuffling things, and it was a genuinely good portrait, and yeah, very primary school-esque. It would be something that, you know, it wouldn't be a miss hanging up in like a primary school corridor. Yeah, I thought it was good. Alex says the foot is of course the hand of the leg. Yeah, where is that phrase? Okay, yeah, Phil. Yeah, Alex just said Phil Wang. Yes, I was like, I've heard that from somewhere. Anyone know the band shirt Charlotte was wearing? I did see somebody mention this. I think it was Phoebe Bridgers. Is that her name? I'm not really too familiar. But I'm sure somebody said that, but don't take my word for it. But I'm pretty sure that's what someone said. Kara says, when they read out the task, I assumed they had to use feet for everything, opening the paint, etc., and I'm surprised it wasn't. Yes, because Alex did hint. It was like, well, it's up to your interpretation. So, yeah, I was surprised that they were kind of quite lax with it. But I guess they didn't really want everybody to be disqualified. Because I think everybody would, maybe apart from Mike. I think, if that was the rule. Through the series so far, Charlotte has gotten very few points while Leah's got a lot. I don't know if bias might be involved. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Greg always has this kind of thing where he doesn't like young people, and they tend to get harsher judgment. But yeah, I think that's happened with a lot of people, like with Lolly. Yeah, I guess that's probably why. Who else? Oh yeah, let's talk about Sarah's. Hers was a weird genie mixed with a mean baby with an earring, which again, it wasn't a bad painting. It just didn't look like Greg at all, which is quite funny. But yeah, I don't know why she drew a genie, but it was funny. Caroline says scoring is always biased in Taskmaster. Yeah, it's always going to be a bit biased, really, isn't it? But yeah, it's not really much you can do about it. I think everybody's going to have a different opinion anyway, so yeah. Yeah, I'm really surprised Sarah got 4 points. I mean, let's talk about Mike, is the only one we haven't talked about yet. He did this weird clown thing. I don't really know how else to describe it, and it didn't look like Greg at all, and I think that probably deserved 2 points. I'm happy with that in 2 points. It's the other three, so Charlotte, Sarah and Jamali, I might have jigged around a bit. I don't know if it's difficult, because I feel like Charlotte's was the better thing overall, and then Sarah did quite a good like face, but then turned it into a genie. But yeah, I don't know between those two. I'm surprised Greg actually gave the points like from 5 to 1. Like normally with arty tasks, he tends to kind of group them up a bit, like give more people, like 2 people 4 points or something like that. But yeah, this time he just gave it from 5 to 1. Karen says Mike's technique was so impressive though. Yeah, I mean, he did everything with his feet, didn't he? Which, yeah. Mr. Apple says, but Greg is a weird clown, right? Yeah, it does look like it does look like a weird clown. I mean, it wasn't a bad, like, well, it was a bit bad, but, you know, considering he did it with his feet, it wasn't terrible. And it looked like a person. You could tell it was, you know, in the shape of a person. Yeah. Sarah's had Greg's iconic eyebrows though, yes. And obviously his big hoop earring that is never seen without, yes, exactly. So yeah, that's basically kind of what I was trying to say. Like, yeah, I guess a portrait doesn't have to be like a full body portrait. It just can be your face, right? So yeah, okay, fine. Sarah, I think, yeah, Sarah's in the right place then. It is difficult. The arty ones are so difficult to judge because like all of them have their kind of their good aspects to it, and it's really hard. I could not be Greg. I could not do this on the show. Like, I'm so indecisive when it comes to the things like this. Like, I'd be so terrible. I'd be there for ages, being like trying to weigh up who's better and stuff. Greg is basically Lee, but with a bigger belly. Yeah, I'm surprised he. Yeah, I'm surprised he gave point. No, gave 1 point after Lee said. Gave him 1 point after Lee said that. Right, shall we go on to the next task was the team task. I was about to say it was the battered items task, but the next task was the team task, which we've had quite a decent amount of team tasks this season, which I really like. Like, I was kind of worried that they might not do the team tasks, like, given COVID and stuff, but obviously they did with season 10, and I'm so glad they did because I loved the team tasks. So this one was vandalise the wall, most creative vandalism wins, which again I think is a great task. Oh, Panda's made a good point saying Greg is struggling with the scores without an audience, which I do agree with that, because sometimes the audience will cheer really loudly for one, so we can kind of influence which might influence his judging, which I think is definitely a good point. And everybody is saying that the team of 3 got underscored on that task, and I completely agree. It was split 5 points to Lee and Mike, and then 1 point for the group of 3, which I think was so unfair. So yeah, it was just such a... I couldn't believe that. Like, I didn't really mind him giving Lee and Mike more points. I think that it's fine. Like, I think if you are going with creative vandalism rather than just vandalism, then fine, they get more points. But 5 points to 1, like, they could have done it like 5 to 3 or 4 to 2 or something like that, or even like 5 and 4. But yeah, it's just... yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like actually in shock when that happened. Yeah, pretty much everybody is agreeing that, yeah, they would like really underscored. So I mean, let's talk about Lee and Mike first. So I thought them using Alex as a stencil and turning him into like Banksy's girl with a balloon was really good, and yeah, I thought like that was really good. I think it was a creative idea. It was like original in a way of they were tracing around a person kind of thing. But and then it was just spray paint from then on, which I guess is the whole thing looked artistic, and they argued that it looked more like they wouldn't take it down because it wasn't vandalism, because it was nice looking. And yeah, it was definitely the nicest looking, but I personally think the team of 3 should have got more points, because A, theirs was actual vandalism, and they did like everything was just pure destruction, and that was amazing. And they did so many different things. So they tore down the paper, they set it on fire, they like vandalized it, like graffiti all over it. They used hammers, they nailed stuff in. Like, they did like pretty much every form of vandalism, like throwing painted cricket balls on. And yeah, I think in a way you could argue that their vandalism was creative in the way that they just were so creative in the way that they vandalized, rather than Lee and Mike's being the end result being like creative. Yeah, and like Jamali got hit in the balls with a cricket ball. Like, he should have got points for that. Chio says, honestly, that task must have felt therapeutic. Yes. Yeah, that would have been really fun to do, just to go on and just to be able to vandalise a wall would have been great. Darcy says, in my opinion, Lee and Mike felt like two dads doing what they think vandalism is, which is to paint where it shouldn't be. Yes, I definitely agree with that, which, as I've seen a couple of people say, that theirs wasn't really vandalism because, again, it wasn't really that bad. Like, it could easily be fixed, whereas the other three, they completely just demolished it. They vandalised it. It was amazing to watch. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I think both sides could be argued in kind of whichever one came first. Like, I don't know, I guess it just depends what you want to prioritise out, the creative like end result or the vandalism part. But yeah, 5-1 points is just not fair at all. Charlotte should have got points for hitting Jamali in the balls. Yeah, I guess. And then Charlotte yelling epic. Yeah, I think it was such a funny task to watch. So good. Stephen says creativity through chaos. Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Daniel says points were way off this time. Greg has a soft spot for Wozniak. Yes, I think this one definitely kind of showed the bias that he has towards kind of the older people on the show, which is, yeah. Panda says, didn't the task say most creative wins? Yes, it did, which is why I'm not like mad about the group of two getting more points, because I guess you could say theirs was more like artsy and stuff like that. But I think just a 5-1 is just mean. Sven says, yeah, that 1 point must have felt like a kick in the penis, which yes, Joanna said that twice in one episode now. Yeah, so personally I would have maybe given 5-3 or 4-2, something like that. Make it a bit fairer. So the next task, which I think is one of my favourite tasks, I think it was, yeah, I really like this type of task. It was identify the battered items. So there was a lot of rules to this one, which I wrote them all down. So they are allowed to lick and sniff all of them, bite 2 of them, squeeze 1 between the elbows, really stamp on 1, look at 1 through magnifying glass, and then put 1 in water. So a lot of rules. This one's kind of like the guess the contents of the pie mixed with kind of like the rules that they got with the Satsuma in a sock and the woman there to find Alex in the bin. I like these ones because I don't know, I get these ones are my favourite type. One of my favourite tasks from series 1 is the identify the contents of the pie. I think that was really, really good, and I love the ones where they kind of have lots of things that they can do and kind of they have to work out what's the best one to do for the like each item. I love these kind of tasks, and yeah, it was really, really good. Tracy says, when I first saw the wallet, I knew they should look inside just to make sure there's nothing in it. Yes, I think I mean, Jamali nailed it, didn't he? I probably would have had a look in the wallet because, yeah, I can't help myself. Yes, people are bringing this up already, so I may as well talk about this now. So about them not providing like vegan things for Lee, which I don't know how. I have no idea how that they didn't do that, because yeah, it's just like not. So I actually did have a conversation with somebody over on Instagram about this, and there was a complete disregard to what to Lee's veganism, which I don't think is fair at all. Yeah, because I know they have, as Mr. Apple just pointed out, Russell Howard got vegetarian stuff for the baby food task in Series 6. So they are aware of these things and they have made accommodations for people in the past. I just don't know how they missed the egg. I don't know how they missed it at all. And batter has milk in it, right? I don't know how... does batter have milk in it? Because surely that would have been non-vegan as well. Obviously, I don't know. They might have used vegan stuff for that, but I don't know how they missed it. Yeah. And yes, Caroline pointed out before that he had to bite into the 2 non-vegan things. Yeah. Yeah, someone pointed out, didn't Lee say it was a vegan egg, or was that just... I think it was a joke, because... yeah, because it looked like a real egg. It looked like all the other eggs. I think that was a joke. I was just kind of like, this is definitely a non-vegan egg. So yeah, they did the thing with the wallet, making it a plastic wallet, but then just completely didn't think about the egg. And then there was an apple and blackberry pie, which I imagine again might have stuff in the what's it called? Pastry. I think that has like butter and stuff in. But yeah, definitely an oversight, which I would imagine they kind of would have solved by now, because as someone just pointed out, Ramesh as well, and like he had to do stuff with eggs as well. But yeah, obviously they're not going to be able to accommodate everybody, but it just seemed like a massive oversight. And yeah, he only got 1 point as well. So biting into the egg was for nothing. Yeah, Christian just said, dread to think about what would happen if someone had allergies. Yeah, it's another good point. Like, I think they would obviously have to take allergies more seriously. But again, like, people are vegan or vegetarian for religious reasons as well. Like, not just for, like, ethical and things like that. But yeah, oh well. Hopefully they'll learn from this for next time, because yeah, I imagine that probably did. They're lucky that Lee didn't seem too bothered by it, just like a bit annoyed by it, which is fine, because some people would have been really annoyed at that, and I can't really blame them either. So so Lee only found 3 of the items, 3.5 I think actually they said, which is a shame. I did find, so all of them were fairly simple to work out, but the apple and blackberry pie, like, how are they supposed to get that? Like, what did they guess? What were the other things they guessed? Like jam donut, jam tart. Like, that was such a specific one. I don't know how they got that one. Like, yeah, it's literally the only person who got that was Jamali, and that's because he found the secret help, which is great. I love that you find it. Like Mr. Apple just said, Jamali found the secret answer. How often do people actually find it? And yeah, incredible. I love it when people figure out or like find the clue. It's just amazing. This is one of the reasons why I love this task. Yeah. Oh, and also somebody pointed out that there was something in the airplane that was like written in Welsh. I can't read. I think it just said like open the envelope, so I don't think it was a clue, just like part of the task, I guess. I think somebody else opened the wallet apart from Jamali, but they didn't find the answer. I don't know who it was that opened it, mate. I don't know who opened it, but I do remember looking at that, like, why didn't they look in it? But yeah, absolutely amazing. Because I did on the podcast, Ed was kind of arguing that by opening the wallet, you're breaking the rules because that you were like messing with it in the task. Like, it wasn't one of the things you could do. Same with Sarah's lick, which we'll get into later. But I was like, if it was breaking the rules, then Alex wouldn't have put the receipt in the wallet. So I think that was a really weird argument. Yeah. I thought that was I didn't understand where he was going with that at all. Yeah. Dusty says Sarah opened the wallet to smell the batter. Yeah. I think that does make sense. Alex says Ed's a real stickler for sticking to the rules. Yeah, but I thought that was like, Alex wouldn't have put the clue in there if it wasn't like meant to be found. Other people, Mr. Alpha says, didn't understand what Ed's problem was. And I was like, yeah, no, me neither. Like, it wasn't breaking the rules because it was there. Yeah. I don't know why he was so annoyed by that. No, we haven't discussed the moment yet. We're getting onto that after this task, I think, if it's the next task. Yes. Yeah, people agreeing once they stomped or swished the items but then picked them up afterwards, wouldn't this be against the rules? I don't think so, because it doesn't say you can't, like, I don't know. I think it's fine. Completely fine, because everybody did that. Like, yeah, there wasn't a rule saying you couldn't, like, touch them or break them apart, I guess. You could argue it the other way. Yeah, Mr. Apple just pointed out the the point I was going to say in a second. Charlotte saying, "I hope this isn't leather," and then biting into a leather wallet. I thought that was amazing. Like, it was. How did she? I just don't know how that happened. Like, thinking, "Oh, you wouldn't make me bite into leather," and then she was biting into leather. I thought it was great. So Charlotte came third, and she guessed that 2 things were lemons, which. I mean, I don't know why she did that. She could have guessed something else, but yeah. I think that her technique was, pretty simple. She just followed every rule, really. I mean, everybody apart from Jamali did that. I think the batter was a tricky one. I'm surprised as many people got it. The batter being covered in batter. I think that was great. I loved Sarah sniffing everything and being like, smells like batter, smells like batter. I thought that was really funny. Alex says, I despaired at her optimism, hoping it was a brownie. Yeah, I don't blame her though. Like, I guess the shape, you can kind of see the brown underneath and thinking, yeah, brownie. Someone just said, I love Charlotte so much. I'm always rooting for her. Same. I am as well. Yeah, I think, it was just great. Mike as well, he just had a very similar technique to Sarah, except he just did them in probably not as good of an order as Sarah did, and just went straight in, followed all the rules. It was great. And then really good task again, one of my favourite ones. Batter fried brownie sounds like a legit idea. Yes, it does sound quite good. Sarah was really funny in this one. Yes, like the smelling of the wallet. I don't know what, like the sludge of that. Like, I'm guessing it was just like undercooked batter mixed with like warm leather, which doesn't sound nice at all. But yeah, it was really funny. She's such, she was the only, I think I've said this before, she was the only one I wasn't familiar with before, like, the series. And she's absolutely hilarious. She's amazing. Alex says Jamali stamping on everything worked out well this week. It did, yes. He stamped on paint in 2 of them, and then on the wallet, and then on the metal thingy. Can't remember what it's called. Like the tool case thing. Alex says Sarah going back to the horrible smell really confused me. Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's gas. I just think it's just such an odd smell. I can understand why people would be like, is that genuinely that smell? Like, yeah, I don't blame her, but yeah. Whoa, when you saw the black square in batter, I immediately thought it was a wallet and felt so smart until Jamali opened it up and found a list of things. That's proper galaxy brain moment. Yes, it was so good. Like, I guess you just have, he got lucky with the fact that he chose that one to stamp on, which I think he was the only one who chose that one to stamp on, and then just genius looking in the wallet. It's so good. The patented Maddix stamp. Yes. I love that. That's great. So yeah, obviously Jamali got 5 points for this one. Then Sarah got 4. Charlotte 2, Charlotte 3, Mike 2, and then poor Lee down at 1 point, which, yeah. Poorly. Oh well, he's done really badly the past few weeks. I feel so terrible for him. Mr. Apple says he also metaphorically stepped on paint in the prize task. Yes, he did. That's a good point. I like that. So, I mean, is it time? Do we talk about Mike now? I mean, we're going to have to at some point, aren't we? Christian says, I thought there'd be loads of money in it, and it would be a punishment if you took any. That is a good idea. I like that. Similar to the chocolate task in series 4. That's a really good idea. I like that. Okay, people are saying, let's talk about Mike. So this episode has been highly anticipated for a while, about something like career-ending moment for Mike. It wasn't what I was expecting, let's just say that. So he got a individual task which was to fart, fastest wins, which at first I was like, oh, okay, so we've just got someone farting for a bit, that's okay, wasn't what I was expecting, but I can understand why this is embarrassing. And then it just got funnier and funnier and worse for Mike. Yeah, I mean, if I'd got this task on TV, I would have been like, no, you can do it. I'm not going to do it. Which is why I think they gave this to Mike, because he was so dedicated, overly dedicated to this task. Like, all the yoga positions and just being there for hours in the aeroplane, just doing all these positions. Like, how, I don't... I was just in tears. Like, I thought, okay, this is the funny bit. He's just doing all these positions and he's just going to like fart really loudly or something, and that's going to be the hilarious moment. But no, I mean, and then there's also him thinking he was going to just before the batter task, and oh no, I've lost it. It escaped him, which yeah, it was, yeah, and he actually did the batter task meanwhile while he was waiting, like, you know, afterwards, which I think is very rare that we actually see kind of one task go into another. I think this has happened twice this series with Mack in one of the other episodes with the banana and then using the task to wipe it up. And yeah, the actual final result was one of the worst noises I've ever heard, and it was also one of the, oh my, I can't even, like, it's so hard to even think about. That noise will be with me for the rest of my life. I can't imagine how hilarious it was to watch this live though, like in the cinema. Oh, I would have been so good to be in the studio live when that was happening. Like, oh my god, it would have been hilarious. Yeah, someone just said, I love Sarah being upset that she wouldn't get the chance. Oh my god. Like, I know, and everyone thinking, oh, he's, you know, he's not just a fart that's escaped there, and then it being him popping a hemorrhoid, like, oh my god, like, aren't they supposed to be really painful? Like, it's just, oh my god, I can't even, yeah, apparently as well on the Taskmaster podcast, they said that the noise was so faint that they didn't think they were actually going to pick it up, and god, can you imagine being like one of these sound editors, like trying to find the sound and then that being the noise? Like, oh my god. And someone just pointed out that all the build up, all for that sound that was so surprising, it was so good, because I was thinking, oh god, this is going to be like really loud, it's going to be a horrible loud noise, and it was just a tiny little noise. Oh god, yeah, someone just said absolute casserole had me rolling. Like, I am never going to look at a casserole in the same way again. Like, oh my god, there's such like horrific imagery. I can't. And Josie's saying, I love seeing Alex completely lose it with laughter. He always tries to hold it back. Yeah, everybody, it was just in tears in the studio. Like, oh my god. I would pay any kind of money to be in that studio, like, as that happened. Like, that was just amazing. So good. The fact that Greg only gave him 1 point is the biggest injustice in the world. I mean, I don't think any amount of points is going to fix what he's done to himself. Like, oh my God. It felt so bad for Mike. Yeah, same. Like, it wasn't what I was expecting at all, but I don't think I'm going to forget this anytime soon. Oh my God. The reactions to it just made it funnier. Like, you had just like Charlotte looking so shocked and like almost scared, and then Sarah's just laughing her head off on the other side of the studio and just Greg and Alex just crying. It's just, yeah, absolute. Oh, it was beautiful. Caroline says, Mike was so dedicated, I would have just made a fart noise with my mouth. I was waiting for somebody else to do that before Alex revealed it was a special task. Yeah, I think, making a fart noise with your hand. I don't think many people would have actually done it. They would have, like with the sneeze task, people didn't even sneeze. They just, they just made a sneezing sound. And I highly doubt. Maybe we would have got one from Sarah, but I don't think Charlotte would have done it if it was her, if she had to do the task. I mean, she wouldn't even take her shoes off. Yeah. Do you think they got inspired from series 10 with Catherine farting or not farting? Like, who knows what happened with that, but that might have been where they got it inspired from, like thinking how hilarious it was that Catherine possibly farted in one of the tasks and everyone just pissing themselves with laughter in the studio. Do you think that's what inspired it? Because that would be hilarious. Don says, much respect for Mike for being such a good sport about it. Yes, they chose the right person to do it. Like, he so dedicated, and yeah, he took it on the chin, and he was great. I think anybody else would have refused to have that aired. Really good. He probably would have deserved more than 1 point, but I think someone pointed out before that I missed it, that you barely ever get more than 1 point for doing an individual task. Yeah, Alex saying the only other person who got a point for a special task is Josh, and his counting, and that was 1 point as well. Yeah. I think it would have been possibly unfair, because again, Ramesh really didn't like the fact that Josh got 1 point in series 1, because that 1 point made him win, because he only got one more point than Ramesh. Alex says, we know Alex is awkward around women. I can only imagine how he would have acted if they did this task. Oh, that is exactly why there was only Mike doing the task. Like, there's no way he would have asked the women to do it. Oh no, someone just said 0 points as it wasn't a fart. That would have been an injustice. He definitely deserved at least 1 point. I think 1 point is fair, because you can't have a task, really, in my opinion, that gives one person loads of points, because other people wouldn't have got the points then. But yeah, he definitely deserved 1. I'm not going to argue that at all. Oh my, yeah, Alex just said if Mike wins the series by 1 point though. I mean, to be fair, I'd give it to him. I think that's for doing that, I think it's fair enough. I mean, and I'm not really mad about Josh getting the points really either, because he did it so many times, counting the beans and the rice, and oh my God. I'm not mad about him getting the point. Tracy said that Mike never questions any of the tasks, never complains, he just tried his best. Yeah, I think that's exactly why they chose Mike to do it, because they knew that he would just go along with anything, and I think that's amazing. I'm surprised he didn't question that nobody else would be doing it. And also that he still thought he would have been in with points if he carried on after after how many, like, was it like 3 hours or something? I think Alex said on Twitter, like 3.5 hours, which is ridiculous. How do you compare this cast to series 10? Ooh, that is difficult. I prefer this cast. I did really enjoy the cast for series 10. That was one of my favourite things about it. But I'm going to have to say I prefer the cast with this one. I was such a big fan of Charlotte Richie and Mack going into this series, and I knew Jamali fairly well from some things I'd seen him on, and I liked Mike in Man Down. And yeah, everybody has just like exceeded my expectations in every way, and like the chemistry is great, like the teams are brilliant, and I like that you know, it's not as kind of like competitive and argumentative as series 10, which I really like. Yeah, so probably this series. Alex says, all right, gotta head out, stay safe everyone, goodbye. We'll probably only be here for like, I don't know, 15 minutes I would say. Anyway, so you're not going to miss much. Oh, Caroline says Mark Watson got points for sneezing days after opening exam. Like, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mr. Apple says, no offence to the series 10 cast, but I think this cast is definitely more creative with the tasks. Yes. Yeah, definitely. I agree. They are very good. I think I prefer series 10 cast a tad bit more since they seem to have so much fun in the studio. Yes, it was amazing to watch, to be fair. Like, I think just seeing the joy of being able to interact with people for the first time in ages, it was amazing to watch, and it was so great, even just as a person watching it on TV. Like, you really felt the energy and the chemistry and just how much people were enjoying it, and that was amazing. T.O. Tom says, how do you think that not having an audience affects the mood of the show? It definitely impacts it in a way, but I think because for the past 2 series, they've had such strong contestants. Like, maybe like the first episode, perhaps a bit weaker, but like they have grown and really taken like control of the studio, and like especially with series 10, like people were just laughing so loud, like it filled the studio so much, and I don't think we're really missing it as well. The only thing I would say that really impacts it is just the contestants can't react to the audience, which I think is often kind of like a good thing. I like it when they kind of interact with the audience, and like, what was it, in series 7 when James Acaster had a go at the audience for like supporting Rod and be like, oh well, you do team tasks with him. Like, that was amazing. It was so funny, and I think that's the main reason for me that kind of makes them a tad bit weaker than the other ones, which is not their fault at all. I think they have done an incredible job without the audience. Have we talked about the final task? Not yet. We will go on to that now. So again, this task actually reminded me of one from series 1 again. The one where they were like tied up and they had to get the code, which was Greg's weight and stuff. Tom says Alan Davies is going to be on series 12. It was confirmed on Reddit and on a different website. Yeah, it wasn't, I think, Mr. Apple said not confirmed, just theories. It's a very strong theory. I think that, somebody kind of worked out a possibility of 5 or 6 contestants. I don't think it's confirmed yet, but it does sound plausible. I would like Alan Davies on it, and I think there's only a couple of really others that I was familiar with. But yeah, it's not official yet. It's a strong theory. So yes, on to this task. So again, it reminded me of one from series 1, which was when they were tied up and they had to solve the code on the thing and then run and pass the finish line. So this was to tie the very ends of the strings to the ends of the glasses, and the string was like in a balloon, and then so it's in a balloon, then in a tool case, which was then padlocked, and they had to guess the padlock. So yeah, this was so difficult. Like, I would have been as bad as Charlotte on this one with the maths. So they gave so many clues that didn't help at all. So it was like the code in Roman numerals, and then a math sum, and then what year Planet of the Apes aired, and then Greg's birthday year. Yeah, I think that was all the clues I can remember. Caroline says Charlotte covering her ears and missing some clues was hilarious. Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, she was just so focused on the on trying to do the sum. And I loved Sarah like licking a finger and doing it on the floor, which is probably what I would have tried to do, like trying to like write it on the floor or something. Like, yeah, everybody had just such a hilarious approach to this. Lee was incredibly lucky that that he was born in the same year as Greg. So he managed to win. He looked so smooth doing it. He was just like, put in the date, and he did it so quickly, so smoothly, and he came first. And yeah, really, really good. Oh god, that was I mean, I can't even look at Miss Apple just put the Roman numerals in, and I can't even. I know Roman numerals basic, like, you know, basics of it. I would have struggled with that so much, like, especially when that's written down as well for me now. Like, I can't imagine just hearing like MCMLXVIII. Like, how would they have managed to get that? And then the sum was quite difficult as well. Yeah, so Jamali, I think his approach was hilarious. Again, as we mentioned before, stomping on things, as Pandas just pointed out. Just great method. Just stamp on it and get it out. Like, brilliant. Unfortunately, he did come last in that, but at least he got a point and he actually finished it. Just smashing the briefcase. I love that. I thought it was such just frustration. Like, no, I can't be bothered to, you know, I don't know how good he is at maths. I know he's dyslexic. I'm not sure how good he is at maths, but just like smashing it. I don't blame him for doing that at all. It was so entertaining, and I'm actually surprised he got it open. Like, it seemed quite tough. And then so he came last, and then Charlotte came second last because she just couldn't do maths, and yeah. She was just so fun to watch, and I just loved her she was just looking off to the side, speaking to herself, and that just made it so hilarious. Like, yeah, it was just, I mean, just shouting, I can't do maths. It was just so good. Caroline says Alex laughing while Jamali destroys a briefcase was so wholesome. Yes, it was. It was, I just loved it. It was so good. Someone says, I spent months memorising Roman numerals when I was 8. This has never come in handy except for movie title screens. I mean, if you're on Taskmaster, you know, you never know. You might need Roman numerals at some point. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say about this one apart from just the clues were ridiculously difficult. I could not have done this task at all. So, yeah, obviously, so Lee won this one, then Mike, then Sarah, and then Charlotte, then Jamali. And, yeah, again, can't argue the points on that. Everybody did, points are fair in that one. Nothing really much I can say. And then we also had our first ever tiebreak for Series 11, which I'm surprised it took this long to get here. But yeah, had a tiebreak, and it was between Jamali and Mike. And I was so scared Mike was going to win, which I wouldn't have minded if Mike won. As I said before, I love it when kind of everybody wins an episode. So yeah, Mike and Jamali, and the task was to fire as many rubber bands into Alex's bum bag. And again, Alex putting himself, in danger of getting hurt, which is admirable. Like, he really does put himself he gets himself involved, which is great. And I'm surprised he hasn't got more hurt, to be honest, from tasks like this. And what Rod did to him. Panda says they sucked at the tiebreaker task. Yes, when they said what the tiebreaker task was, Jamali was like, oh man, like, he obviously thought he wasn't going to win. And yeah, they were surprisingly bad. Tracy says Alex was a big, brave boy. Yes, he was. Very brave. So, firing it into a bum bag, which I didn't think would have been too difficult. But yeah, Mike only got one in, which I would like to think I'd do better than one. But yeah. And then, yeah, Jamali managed to get 7 in, which was because he was firing multiple at once, which I think is a good technique. And, well, I could say firing them, he was basically just flinging them in, which was great. But, yeah, really, yeah. I'm happy Jamali won. I think he definitely deserved to win an episode. He has done... he's done quite well in the past few episodes and been kind of close with quite a few. Like, he's got quite a few 5-pointer wins on some of these tasks recently. So yeah, I'm glad he won an episode. Alex says technically most of these weren't fired, they were just thrown. Yeah, I think that's again a difficult wording. Like, if it was flick, then I guess they could have argued that they didn't flick them, but with the tie breaks, they tend not to really analyse them as much. They just kind of show who won, really. Sven says, did they choose this particular tie break so that Jamali would win? I don't know. It's really hard to say how they pick the tie breaks. Like, my thought was that they just assign a tie break before, like, the episodes that they say this will be the tiebreak for episode 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and so on and so on, and then it just, whichever one happens to get there is, it just luck really on which one you have on the day. But yeah, Mr. Trapper saying Lee is now the only one not to win an episode. Yeah, well, he's got 4 more episodes. I really do hope he wins one. Yeah, because, like, he isn't a bad contestant. He's doing better than... Actually, no, he is second last now, isn't he? But yeah, even Charlotte's won an episode, and her points are well below everybody else's. So, yeah, hopefully he wins one. Yeah, as I said, I love it when everybody wins one. It's just such a nice... Everybody kind of gets their own little victory, and then the final person wins, which I think is really good. They should do more studio tie breaks though, they're fun. I agree, I like the studio tie breaks. There's more kind of like tension as well, because they know kind of what they're... it's just more tense, and I think that works really well. Sven says, imagine if there was a draw in a tie break task though. Yes, that's never happened before. I don't know what would happen. I guess if they kind of... obviously I don't know how it would happen in the studio, but if they have a pre-recorded one and they notice that 2 people have got the same score, they might, discard that one and change it to a studio task or something like that. Mr. Trapper says that kind of happened with the yogurt in series 5 though. Yes, that's true. Yeah, guess that's a good point. I can't remember that task very well for some reason. All I can remember from the yogurt task is Mark's yogurt kick. Yeah. Northern Stick says the Lasso Alex task in series 9 was meant to be a tiebreaker, but David Baddiel fucked up so badly they made it into a main task. I did not know that. That is interesting. Yeah, cool. I did not know that at all. Caroline says we need more yogurt-based tie breaks too. Yes. Yeah, we do. So yeah, I'm very excited to see kind of the next episodes, because I think the episodes are getting better and better each episode, really. Like, it's, they're doing such a good job, to be fair to them. Like, yeah. Yeah, definitely the batter task has been one of my favourite ones. Like, I think that is kind of like a classic Taskmaster task, which, yeah, is great to see. My chat isn't loading. Oh, that's a good task. Flavour this neutral yogurt as fast as possible. That sounds odd, but I get where you're going. Like, they could do kind of like make an ice cream flavour or something like that. That might be quite interesting. Don't know like how they would. Yeah. Northern Six says, yes, Alex said it on the podcast at some point. Oh my god, I don't know how I missed that then. I've listened to all the podcast episodes. I honestly don't know how I've missed that. But thank you for letting me know. That is a really interesting fact. I like that. Christian says, yes, apparently Ed was a bit annoyed about the lassie becoming a main task because he did quite badly at it until he saw David's attempt. Oh my god. That's funny. What's the current point difference between Sarah and Mike? Ooh. I don't know. I'm sure somebody in the chat will be able to get this quite quickly. I didn't know that down, annoyingly. Oops, I think. Mr. Apple says, I feel like there's a Taskmaster arc of like really iconic first episodes to hook you in, good second episodes, more low-key episode, and then big ramps up to finish. Yeah, that is a good point. Although I found like this series, the first episode was not weak. I think it was still a good episode. I just feel like the chemistry has definitely made these episodes a lot better, like as we go along, because they're just getting kind of, you know, they're getting to know each other a bit more and each other. You know, yeah, they're getting to know each other a bit more, know each other's like comedy style, and getting more confident in the studio. Alex says, I'm letting myself down as a Taskmaster fan. I know that's two things I'm missing now. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find the points off the top of my head. There we go. I knew someone would bring in. So Mr. Apple says Sarah's got 106 points and Mike's got 88. So 18 points difference, which is ridiculous. Yeah, 18 points. Like, I'm just trying to think. Sarah's going to have to do really badly in the next few episodes to be able to lose her lead. Like, it's insane. Robert says, I'd love if a task was recreate a task from a previous series. Most accurate recreation wins. You have 20 minutes. That is a good task. Yeah, that is really, really good task. I like that. But then that would kind of require all of the contestants to kind of be familiar with Taskmaster, which obviously sometimes they aren't, but I would like that. That'd be very good. Sarah will probably win. There's going to be a race for second place. Yes, there definitely will be a race for second place at the moment between Mike and Jamali now, I think. Tracy says it would be wild if Mike overtakes her. Yes, I mean, if anybody overtakes her, like, she does just have such a strong lead. It'd be insane. And Don saying Sarah avoids disqualifications. Yes. There has been so like little disqualifications compared to series 10, which I really like, because it is kind of annoying when so many people got disqualified in series 10. It was ridiculous how many disqualifications they got. Yeah, Dawn's saying, as long as she avoids disqualification, she'll be tough to catch. Yeah, definitely. And then hopefully at the end of the series as well, we'll have like the air date for Champion of the Champions, hopefully. Oh yeah, Mr. Apple saying you could do a task recreation as a Champions task. Yes, definitely. Yeah, for Champion of Champions, I'm pretty sure they said was going to be aired in 2021. So maybe they might do it Christmas time. But hopefully they do another New Year's special, because I really enjoyed that. Yeah, hopefully we get that soon, because I really want to know when it's going to happen. Because imagine if in between kind of this series and series 12, we will get Champion of the Champions, New Year's treat, and then series 12. That'd be great. Mike says, do you have a Discord we could do our own tasks set and judged by you? I don't have a Discord, but I feel like that could be something we could do eventually. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. It'd be fun to do. But no, I don't really know how Discord works. I don't really use it. I've never used it. But I know quite a lot of YouTubers have their own Discord. Again, I don't really know how it works. Mr. Up says, here's a guessing game. How many times has Sarah been disqualified this series? Oh God. Not many. I'm gonna either say either 0 or 1. But I don't know. Alex saying Champion Champions would be at Christmas. Cool. That'd be cool. I'd like to see it at Christmas. Mr. Up says the audience tickets are up for the cinema recordings for series 12 apparently. Yes, I did look at the dates. If it was literally like a month later, I would try and get tickets, but it's just not a good time for me at all, because I would have like just finished. Oh no, I think I'd be in the middle of my exams. Well, not exams, but like my assessments, and then I'm moving, so it would have just been. It's in a completely like awkward time for me, which is so annoying, because I haven't been to see one of them yet, and I would love to. I applied for one ages ago, but I didn't get it because it's in London, so it's going to be like at the moment I'm so far away from London at the moment, until like I don't have a car, so at first I wouldn't be able to drive there, and the train from Aber to London I imagine is a nightmare. So yeah, it's just so awkward for me at the moment, which is so annoying. But hopefully for series 12 they'll have it in the studio and I can see it in the not series 12, series 13. They'll have it in the studio and I can see it in the studio. Yeah. Oh, apparently it was 1 disqualification for Sarah so far, and it was the egg off the table. I couldn't remember that one. It was either 1 or 0 for me, but yeah, awesome. Okay, yeah. Robert says, unfortunately, Lou, Kerry and Lisa all annoy me. Yeah, that's a shame. Lou and Lisa are my favourite contestants, but I do think that for me, that's kind of, the cast just didn't gel well for me as much as it does for other series, so hopefully with everybody else it'd be quite good. Oh, T.O. Tom says, I went to ABBA too, miss it so much. I am going to miss ABBA so much when we leave. Like, I went on a walk the other day, like up the hill and everything, and oh God, I'm going to miss it so much. It's such a beautiful place. I strongly recommend everybody go to Aberystwyth at some point in their lives. It's so pretty, and especially like on a sunny day, it's just amazing. Oh, perhaps the nice Taskmaster staff will gift me some tickets. That would be a dream. That would make, oh wow, that would make my day. That'd be so amazing. Tom says, please get Patreon. I don't think I'd do Patreon for a while. I don't know. I feels weird asking people to kind of pay to see content, but maybe if I get enough subscribers, then maybe it might be something I do. But at the moment, I think I'm just happy. Well, I'm happy doing YouTube, but I haven't been able to put out any YouTube videos just because I've literally got no time in the day at the moment. But Yeah, which is a shame. But hopefully I've got quite a few video ideas. So hopefully in about a couple of weeks, I'll be able to, film a video. Because in 1 week, I've got less than a week until my dissertation's in. So yeah, hopefully after that I'll be able to do something. Robert says, I think the disqualifications make the gap in points too big. I like it when it's much closer. Yeah, same. Obviously I have nothing against Sarah winning. I think she's done an incredible job this series. We know who's going to win, so it kind of takes a bit of the tension away. But then if somebody else does manage to overtake her, then it would be great. It'd be great. Caroline says, yes, too many Bosch contestants in the Champions of Champions, at least to my taste. Yeah, I think for most of the people, I love Kerry and I really like Ed. I think it's going to be those two to win for me. But yeah, all 5 people really, maybe apart from Lisa, are just so competitive. Whereas when we had the first Champion of the Champions, Bob was just insane. Josh was just kind of straightforward and, just doing the tasks. Who else was on it? Noel was just his weird, amazing self. Catherine was just really good. She had some really good moments on that. And then who else am I missing? Rebecca, and he was really good. I feel like definitely the dynamic of the first Champion of the Champions is going to be a lot better than the second one, just from my guessing, but I'm still excited for it. It's going to be really entertaining anyway. Christian says, what do you think the most difficult, I'm assuming, task has been? I reckon it'd be the egg in the frying pan from Series 10, Episode 1. Yeah, that one was ridiculously hard. Everyone got disqualified or nobody got any points. Yeah, probably that one. I think that's a good shout. Off the top of my head, that one was really, really difficult. Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head. That one was really good. Oh, cheering at the traffic warden, someone said, was hard. Yeah, because again, that's quite subjective. Same with kind of impressing the mayor. I would have found that one quite difficult because I would have just been too embarrassed to do anything and it would have been so awkward. Impress the mayor I would have found very difficult. So people are saying about Richard being not too competitive. He wasn't as competitive as a Daisy or Ed, but he really wanted to win, and his method was just do it as it sounds. He wasn't very creative in many ways. He just kind of did the task, which I think was obviously a good strategy, and I did find him quite entertaining, but I know people don't find him the most entertaining. Who should be on a Loser of the Losers episode if they ever did one? I think they have said that they won't ever do a Loser of the Losers, which I can kind of understand, but Roisin should be on there, definitely. Joe Wilkinson. Who else? Catherine Parkinson, if she wants to. I know I found it so funny when she was on the podcast and people were saying that Catherine Parkinson mental health was one of the top searches now. Those 3. Trying to think who else. Oh, maybe Nish and Phil Wang, maybe. I think I would love to see Ramesh again, because I think I've said this before, but Ramesh is one of my favourite contestants, but he came second, so he wouldn't really go on Loser of the Losers. But yeah, so Roisin, Joe Wilkinson, what are the other ones I said? Yeah, Nish, Phil, and Catherine Parkinson. Those would be my 5. I think that would be very entertaining. It would just be chaos. It'd be beautiful chaos. Kristen says, apparently Alex doesn't want to do one because it would encourage losing. Yeah, I did hear something about that. Yeah, definitely. I feel like they definitely could do kind of, as someone just said, second chance special. I definitely feel like they could do that as just kind of a one-off, maybe like for New Year's or for something like that, or just for or like a charity one or something, so people who just want to do it again can do it again. And I think would get people like James Acaster wanting to do it again, Rose Matafeo, just people who are quite competitive. Ramesh, I think, would have again. You know, I think it'd be quite interesting. Maybe Richard Osman as well. That'd be great. Oh, actually, I'd also get Nicola Coughlan as well to do it again, because I know she was saying that she not regrets doing the New Year's treat one, but it's like now she's not going to be able to do a full series. And I really enjoyed her on the New Year's treat. I enjoyed all of them on the New Year's treat, actually. Do you think David Mitchell is too posh to ever appear on Taskmaster? I hope not, because he is one of my top choices to go on Taskmaster. I think he'd be really, really fun. And I think the posh energy would work, in my opinion. Christian says, I think the problem with Series 10 is that the Route 1 method was the best option for most tasks. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. Yes, Jessica Knappett as well. Jessica Knappett I would love to see again. Yeah, she was so close to winning as well. I think she 1 point away. Caroline just said Mel as well. I love Mel. Again, one of my favourite contestants. We'll probably have to wrap this stream up in about like 5 minutes. Just to let you know. 5 minutes and then we'll end the stream. Mr. Apple says, here's my hot take. David Mitchell and Richard Ayoade might not enjoy doing Taskmaster if they were ever to do it, and that might make them not fun to watch. Yeah, that's a good... Yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah, that's a good point, but I don't know. I feel like even though they may appear not to like it, I think they might like it though. Obviously, I can't really say what they're going to enjoy, but I would just love to see, especially David Mitchell on it. I think it'd be great. Yeah, people are saying a Derry Girl special. Yes, definitely, because they did Bake Off, so I think they would love to do the Taskmaster as well, especially because Nicola Coughlan did it as well. What's your favourite Taskmaster house theme? Mine is this series, Communist Revolution one. I remember one time they did like a Van Gogh painting of Greg. I really liked that. They did like a Japanese theme, right? That was quite cool. I do like this one as well. Yes, people are saying Lee might find a way to get David onto the show. Yeah, hopefully. I'd love to see it. Alex saying, who wouldn't you want to see again? I don't know. That is difficult. I can't think of anybody really that I would be annoyed at seeing again. Obviously, I have my favourites and everything. I don't know. That is a really tough question. I know they said, Doc Brown said he didn't enjoy doing it, so I wouldn't want to see him doing it again if he didn't enjoy it the first time, even though I thought he was a brilliant contestant. I don't know. I don't know who I wouldn't want to see again. Ian Sterling. I think he could definitely do a redemption one for me, because I really enjoyed him when I was younger, because he did like loads of children's TV, but I feel like he could redeem himself, because he wasn't bad at the tasks. He just got too angry and he just got like a bit annoying. But yeah, I feel like he could definitely be redeemed, Ian Sterling. So I found Russell Howard disappointing. Yeah, so I've never been a massive fan of Russell Howard. Like, I've just I found him quite funny. It's been something that I don't mind seeing on TV, but it's not something that I'm particularly excited for. But yeah, again, I think he could be redeemed. for me. I think they might have just not really known what they were getting into, and maybe doing it again. Doing it again might they might have a better attitude to it this time. Because there's been no contestants that I really hated. There've been, the occasional ones that kind of annoyed me a bit, but again, no contestants I've hated, which I think is a good testament to the show, really. Sven says, wouldn't want to see Paul Chowdhury again. Oh, I really liked Paul. I feel like I was quite a minority in liking Paul, judging from my ranking the contestants video. Everybody was angry that I put him in the middle, but I found him so entertaining. I thought he was brilliant. Dylan Williams says, love from the US, Taskmaster is amazing and Alex Horne is a genius. I agree. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, people are making a good point that Ian definitely did redeem himself at the end of the series. Yeah. Mr. Apple says, I generally think Ian was a good example of how to apologise for past mistakes. Yeah, to be fair, he definitely did redeem himself by the end of the episode, but I can understand why people still wouldn't like him as much, because it was a bit hostile at times. Like I wasn't angry at him in a way. He was just kind of like just a bit just underwhelming for me, because I really liked him before. Tio Tom says, I won't want to see Roisin again. She looked uninterested in most tasks and didn't even try sometimes. Oh, I love Roisin. I think I think she was great, but I can definitely understand why you might not want to see that again. Yeah, sometimes this is one of the reasons why Series 6 is my favourite. I think they got the energy mix wrong in that series, which No, sorry, that's in relation to Series 6, Ian was Series 8. But yeah, there's just the mix of chemistry wrong. I feel like Ian would have been amazing in a different series. Just with that kind of cast, it didn't really work as well for me. But I feel like it could be, he was really good at times as well. Same with Russell Howard. Like they have all had amazing moments. So a couple more minutes and then I'll end the stream, because that's been over an hour and a half. But yeah, I definitely feel this series has potential to be kind of very high up in my list. Do you think Rachel Riley would work on Taskmaster? I don't see why not. She'd definitely ace it at the maths tasks, really, if there's anything to do with maths. I feel like she's quite good. She's quite entertaining on 8 out of 10 Cats. Like, she has kind of good chemistry with the contestants that come on, and she kind of retorts their jokes and stuff, and I think she'd be quite fun. Someone just pointed Ian might have done well with Joe Lyce or James Acaster. I think he would have been very good with those two. I think that's a good shout. Don says, I never heard of Bob Mortimer until I discovered Would I Lie to You and Taskmaster. He's a favourite now. Yeah, he is brilliant. Like, he is one of the funniest people ever. Like, on Would I Lie to You, like, every time he's on it, he's just a joy. He's just amazing. I love him so much. Jamie Lang, I think he's been on Would I Lie to You a few times, and on 8 out of 10 Cats' Countdown. He's not my favourite person, but I think he is really entertaining on like panel shows. I think he would actually be he'd be quite good, I think, on Taskmaster. I think Taskmaster would be a very good show for him. Yeah, Rachel Riley is competitive. Like, she was on Strictly, I believe. Strictly. And she obviously is willing to kind of be competitive and, work on something for a while. And I think she would do Taskmaster quite well. Yeah, Christian just said I would like to see Rick Edwards do it because he's a big fan as well. Yes. Oh, we've got some really good suggestions. Oh, Danny Dyer would be random but hilarious. I think, ooh, he could get very angry though. I think he would definitely be entertaining. Maybe not for a full series. Maybe put him on New Year's Tree or something for me. Claudia Winkleman, yeah, she's another good shout. I think she'd work really well. Yeah, she's done like all the other panel shows or game shows. Like I definitely feel like she could do Taskmaster. I really hope she does anyway. Right, so I'm gonna have to end the stream there now. Yeah, because it's been an hour and 40 minutes. I was only planning to do an hour this time, but that's absolutely fine because I've had such a good time as usual. And yeah, I always love talking with you guys, and hopefully should definitely be up to do another one next Saturday. Yeah, we've had quite a lot of people in this chat as well, which is awesome. But yeah, so I will see you all next week, hopefully at the same time at 6 o'clock. So yeah. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.